can't get to sleep. I think about the implications of diving in too deep, and possibly the complications, especially at night. I worry over situations, I know I'll be alright. Perhaps it's just imagination, day after day reappears, night after night my heartbeat shows appear, goes appear and fade away. Alone between the sheets only brings exasperation. I'll walk along the streets, smell the desperation. At least there's pretty lights, though there's little variation. I know I'll be alright. It's just overkill, day after day reappears, night after night my heartbeat shows back another day. I can't get to sleep. I think about the implications of diving in too deep, and possibly the complications. At least pretty lights, although there's little variation. Well, I know I'll be alright. It's just overkill, day after day reappears, night after night my heartbeat shows appear, goes appear and fade away, goes appear and fade away, goes appear and fade away. Welcome back to Knicks Time. It's good to have you guys back for another week. Hope you've been enjoying the weather and have had a good Memorial Day weekend. Today I played Overkill by Colin Hay, one of the members of the Australian group Men at Work. This is one of my mother's favorite songs, and I like to play it. It's a good summertime song that I like to play for people. It's just a feel-good song. So I hope you enjoyed it. So today, I want to talk about emotions, and specifically how to deal with negative emotions. Now I want to start by kind of making two umbrella statements. First is, feeling emotions is completely normal. It's unrealistic to think that people can go about their lives without feeling emotions. Even in little instances, just going to the store, getting up in the morning, your mood and your emotions change throughout the day. It's completely normal. The second is that your emotional state doesn't last forever. And that's important to keep in mind, especially when you're feeling negative emotions. Although you may feel anger or frustration or sadness, whatever you're feeling right now will not last forever. Think about it. There have been times in your life where you've been extremely happy. And that happiness doesn't last forever. So it'd be It'd be impossible to think that your sadness will last forever or your anger will last forever. Everything will pass eventually. So it's important to keep those two things in mind when dealing with your negative emotions. Negative emotions can include frustration, anger, shame, guilt, and they come up all the time. And sometimes you're not prepared for them to come up. And sometimes you can't control that emotion, and it's a little scary. And this is why I want to talk about it today. Because, like I said earlier, it is completely normal to feel those emotions. And although they may be unwanted at times, it's human. And it's what makes you you. Now, the important thing is, and why I want to talk about this, is that you want to be able to be prepared to deal with these emotions and be conscious of your emotional state. This will help you be able to control your emotions a little bit better and be prepared for when you can feel the onset of emotion coming and how to deal with it. So let's say that you're having an argument and you can feel your anger rising. You know, you can feel it because you started being conscious of your emotional state. You start feeling your anger rise. What do? Do you even know what to do? And this is why I find it so important to know yourself. And I've spoken about this video after video, the same phrase, knowing yourself. Because it's so important to understand who you are, how you react to stuff, what situations put you in what kind of moods. Ignorance of yourself is dangerous. So when you're dealing with a negative emotion, you got to know how to get yourself back to an equilibrium. How do you get yourself back to feeling neutral, content, calm? Well, unfortunately, there's no straight answer. Like a lot of things, with knowing yourself, it's knowing how to cope. It's knowing how to relieve yourself of negative emotions. It has been shown time and time again that exercise helps relieve negative emotions. The cortisol and dopamine in your brain get excited, and they help relieve some of those emotions. But not everything works for everybody. Some people like to listen to music. Some people like to just watch TV, zone out, stop thinking about it. But my personal preference is to talk it out. Get it out of your head, even if I'm just talking to myself. Speaking the words out solidifies what I'm feeling, and it organizes it. When it's all in your head, you kind of spiral around, and all your thoughts kind of go in at the same time, and it's kind of hectic. And when you speak or when you write it out, it helps you organize your thoughts and organize how you're feeling, and it solidifies it, and it makes it easier to conquer. So whether I'm writing it or talking to myself or talking to a trusted family member or friend, I can feel myself being relieved. Because I no longer am holding this emotion in. I'm no longer just trying to bottle it up and just trying to let it just pass. But I'm taking an active approach at getting out. I'm taking an action to help relieve myself of the negative emotions. And that's what's always helped me the most. So again, you can try a lot of different things, but whatever works best for you is what you should always be doing. And maybe different emotions need different coping mechanisms, but the important thing is to know what to do. The scariest thing to be in is to be in an emotional state and not know how to get out of that, and not know how to calm yourself down. So take some time, learn yourself, and eventually you'll be able to prosper. You'll be able to take massive, life-changing steps to living a happier life. So let's move on to the questions today. What have I been reading? Well, this week I decided to read The Beekeeper of Aleppo. It's a story of Syrian refugees during the Syrian civil war. It's a story of fiction, but it incorporates a lot of the true events that were happening during the Syrian civil war. And so it's just a beautiful book with a beautiful story of perseverance and a triumph of the human spirit. It's a beautiful story, and I highly recommend giving it a shot. What did I watch this week? Well, this week I watched The Edge of Tomorrow, a movie with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt. It's a sci-fi thriller about Tom Cruise, who is a soldier in a war against an alien invasion, and he gets killed in combat, but wakes up, right after he dies at the beginning of the day. And so every time he relives the same day, goes to war, dies, wakes up the next morning of the previous day. It's a little Groundhog Day-y, but it's a really interesting premise. Very fun sci-fi thriller, and of course it's Tom Cruise, so how can you go wrong? But I was enthralled watching it, and it has so many some great action, and the story is really fun, really interesting, and so I had a lot of fun watching that this week. So what have I listened to this week? I was listening to Galactic's 1996 album Coolin' Off. Galactic is a rock band that incorporates a lot of horns and jazz, and they make a lot of really fun music, funky and groovy and stuff like that. And I was just putting it on this week when it was really nice out, and it just was perfect. Galactic's Coolin' Off. It's a great album, top to bottom. All of them are masterpieces, and it just has great tone to it. It's a real palpable mood that you can just soak in and enjoy some nice weather with some nice music. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you have another wonderful week and enjoy the weather. As always, please write in and let me know if there's anything I can talk about, any questions you have, or any songs you might suggest that I play. You can follow us on Facebook and YouTube at PSG Academy. And as always, this is Nick's time.